It feels good to finally get back into the greenhouse. Got a little bit of cleaning up to do. Some things I don't need from the winter storage here. And then I'm going to figure out what trays I'm going to be using today to sow some seeds. And I need to fix this panel back here. Done. Alright, one thing off the list. We are back in the greenhouse and it's pretty warm in here. I don't have the windows hooked up yet. But I know I said we were going to be starting tomatoes and peppers for round 3, but I changed my mind. We are going to be starting round 3 today. However, it is going to be some flowers. Now, these flowers are going to take a little bit longer than, say, marigolds or nasturtium or cosmos, some of the earlier blooming flowers, zinnias. But these ones are going to be a little bit longer out and they take a little bit longer to mature. So we want to get them started about 10 weeks out from our last frost date to give them that jump start and their early blooming whenever the weather warms up. So I will be using some 10 by 20 trays, of course. Every gardener should have 10 by 20 trays if you want to start seeds early. And then it looks like I'll be using these 6-packs, and I think these will work out perfect for the size of seeds I'm starting, the flower seeds, and then they'll be able to grow a good while in here before they need potted up. And I need another one. There we go. And these actually, they're a little bit dirty from spiders getting in them and stuff, but these are actually never used. They weren't used last year, so I don't really have to clean them. So that'll give me 72 and 72, 144 starts. That might be enough here, so I'm going to go look at my seed packs and see what I want to start and see how many of each I want to start. And we'll get started. It is the middle of March and I am going to be starting my seeds now in the greenhouse. I have them started in the cold cellar. Right now, my seeds that we've started in round 1 and 2 are down in my root cellar, and they have lights on them, starting them out down there. But we actually had some casualties because of the setup down there and not a lot of working space, and it gets kind of hot in that small room. So we had some casualties out of round 1. That's one of the reasons why I have the greenhouse open, and I'm going to be starting some seeds out here now. It might take a little bit longer with the night temperatures not being as warm as they would be inside. But they're going to get just as much light, if not more light, even on cloudy days with the sun through the greenhouse than they would inside with the lights. And that should help keep them from getting lanky and leggy. I have 6 varieties of flowers that I want to start today. The first is Snapdragon Floral Showers Bicolor Mix. I have some seeds left of those. I have a Vinca Trailing. It's a nice bright color, small flower. I think there's still some left of these. I didn't actually buy many flower seeds this year. I just am using leftover seeds from years past. And we're going to do the Verbena, which is tiny clusters of flowers. And then I have some perennials, which is larkspur that I got off of a friend. Thanks, Connie. And then I got larkspur giant imperial from Walmart, just to get some more larkspur. And then I have this Echinacea purple cone flower that I want to definitely get some of these started around the property in a bunch of different locations. So we have 6 varieties that we're going to be starting today. and it is 100 degrees in the greenhouse right now, so it's warm. Just got the door open, and I might prop the windows open, get some airflow in here. That's the other thing. I got to get the actuators, little cylinders, hooked back up on the windows in here, so that way they'll open whenever it warms up. It has a wax cylinder that heats up in the sun, and then it'll expand and push a plunger out that lifts both windows up, keeps it cool in the spring. Mainly is when I need it, because it's cold in the morning when I leave for work, and I can't really open the windows and let all that cold air rush in. So I have the actuators on, so they'll slowly open up throughout the day as the sun rises, and open the window and keep it relatively even temperature inside the greenhouse. A lot better than opening them in the morning, letting all the cool air come in, and then waiting for the sun to heat it all back up. I have my soil here with a really good moisture content. We're going to fill up these trays. We're going to start with the purple cone flower, the Echinacea. It doesn't have directions on how to sow it. It just says is to direct sow it after the last frost date. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to start mine indoors. It is 65 days to maturity and 7 to 10 days for germination. Now it doesn't tell me how deep to go, so I'm just going to go twice as deep as the seed is thick. And the seed's kind of small, so it doesn't have to go too deep, maybe a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to dib out 72 holes with my dibber, and then just drop in, I would say 2 seeds per hole I'm going to do, just because these seeds are at least 2 years old now. But yeah, I'm going to do 2 seeds per hole, about a 1/4 inch deep. I actually just did about 1 per cell. I'm going to put the rest back. We'll see how it goes. If I don't get very good germination, I'm just going to direct sow some whenever the weather warms up. I'm just going to backfill all the holes now and tamp them tight so they're nice and secure in the soil. You don't want any loose packed soil for seed germination. Make sure all the seeds are covered too. A couple of them I missed the hole. Okay, and for this one, I already have my labels in. I'm going to do 12 Vinca, 24 Verbena, and 36 Larkspur. Starting off with the Vinca, there's no directions on how to sow this seed either, and it comes in a smaller envelope inside the pack, so we're definitely going to have some small seeds. I only have 7 seeds here. I'm going to start a 6-pack instead of a 12-pack then, obviously. These are very small. I'm just going to scratch the soil and just barely cover these seeds. Verbena, let's see how many we have of here. I just got these from Walmart. It's a pack for 50 cents. Again, these seeds are very tiny, so just scratch the soil and lightly cover. Okay, I started 30 Verbena there, just because I had that extra 6. Still going to do 12 of the larkspur, and probably 12 giant larkspur and 24 of the other larkspur. This is a saved seed pack, so I have to actually find the seeds in here. Here we are, the little branch that the seed pods come off of, and a small little seed pod. It's like a mini bean. You break that open and you get these little black seeds. So they're tiny little seeds. Oh, there's actually a little pincher bug head in there. And so these little black seeds are going to get barely covered. I might even cover these with some vermiculite to help hold the moisture in and not actually cover them up too heavy. Vermiculite's very light, so the seeds are able to push up through it even when they're very tiny. Here we got a few seeds. I'll have to get a few more and we'll sow a dozen of these. Giant larkspur, mixed colors. And all the seeds look the same. Okay, so we got the 36 larkspur, 24 of them giant. We got 30 of the Verbena mixed color, and 12 of the Vinca trailing. For the Snapdragons, we got another package in a package, which means tiny seeds, if you can see them in there. So what I did was get a little container. This is about a 2x2 little container. And I mixed up the seed starting mix, potting soil mix I already had with some 50-50 vermiculite, just to lighten the mix out so it's not very heavy or dense. So you can see it's mixed in there with it. And I'm going to just have a nice flat surface packed down, just barely, just lightly packed down the surface so it's flat. And then I'm going to sprinkle all the seeds across the top. And whichever ones germinate, I'll pluck out and give their own cell to, and whichever ones don't, I won't have a wasted cell pack. So this is how I do my tiny seeds sometimes, just so I don't waste time germinating seeds that won't germinate and giving them too much soil for no reason. So they're all in there and you can't see them anymore. But I'm just going to take some vermiculite and lightly sprinkle on top of this, and that'll keep the moisture in the soil around the seeds while they germinate. I forget how long it takes for these Snapdragons. Maybe it says 7 to 30 days. That's a nice range there. So 7 to 30 days for the germination here, and this vermiculite will help keep the surface of the soil moist while it takes that long to germinate. Without that, the surface of the soil will dry out without you watering it every few hours, and who wants to do that? I forgot to tag my giant larkspur, but I do have a Snapdragon tag right here for this guy, and I'll plug that in. And what I probably will do with this is just put this little fella in a plastic bag. I don't have one out here, but I'll just drop this one in a plastic bag and seal it after I mist the soil, and that'll keep the humidity in there until these germinate. With it being such a small container with a little bit of soil, it'll dry out very fast. Putting it in the bag will definitely help that out. But for now, before I get the seeds wet, I'll just put them up here with the other ones. So now I just have to mist the soil, cover them back up, and they're good to go with germination. Poppy, is that what you've been doing out here? Just laying in the shade, waiting for your ball to be kicked. Back in the shade, puppy. It's a hot day, huh? It's beautiful out here. Listen to those birds. A lot of grackles. So here in the root cellar where I have all my seedling starts, you can see I have some germination on the last round that we put in, and definitely good germination on the onions and some of the, what are those? Brassicas, Romanesco. But the first round that we sowed, the pak choi, the Danish cabbage, the Copenhagen cabbage, the Waltham 29 broccoli, and most of the snowball cauliflower has passed on. Some of the artwork broccoli held up, but I'm pretty sure they just dried out and I didn't get the water to them in time. But with the uneven surface, I ended up pouring in some water, and the one side soaked it up and not the front side, and they ended up dying. So I'm gonna have to start some more of those. Well, it's a good thing that I already had some extra ones started, just in case that happened, but I think I'll be starting some more as well. Those onions though, doing good. If you want to see the next round of tomatoes and peppers, I promise we'll be starting tomatoes and peppers on round 4. I think it'll be time, and I might have room now that I'm opening up the greenhouse. But subscribe down below and you'll be able to see all the new things that we're starting here on property and how the garden actually comes together whenever the growing season starts. Don't forget, our growing tours will be on our Whitt Acres Garden Tours channel, so subscribe to that one so whenever the growing season starts, you'll be able to get the garden tours weekly as they come out. That's all for this one. You can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.